The Red Sox dodged a major bullet with the injuries of Roman Anthony and Aroldis Chapman. We're going to get into all of the injury news and notes that you need to know in today's video. And we're also going to talk about a trade idea for Yandy Diaz. But before we get into that, the trade deadline is on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. The Red Sox are going to be making moves. Now, how many moves, how significant of moves, we don't know yet, but that's the fun part about this time of year. But I can promise you this. Anytime the Red Sox make a move, we will make a video. Whether it be short form, whether it be long form, we will make a video. My goal is to get to 4,000 subscribers by the trade deadline. We are so close. If you have not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. This is your one-stop shop for everything Red Sox news and rumors around the trade deadline. We're going to talk about the injury news at the end of the video, but first, let's talk about Yandy Diaz because his name has been thrown around a lot over the past few weeks, specifically around the Boston Red Sox, and there's been a lot of smoke and a lot of momentum kind of pushing towards the Red Sox maybe actually trading for Yandy Diaz. So Chris Cotillo put out an article, talked about Yandy and all of the potential, rumors and news around Yandy Diaz. And look, the Rays just got swept by the Reds. And they're, I think, 6 games under 500. They are starting to lose ground. Oh, that could be wrong. Let me fact check that. I don't want to say something that's wrong. But they just got swept by the Reds. No, they are at 500. Excuse me. I was thinking of a different team. They're at 500. They are slipping away from a playoff spot. I believe they're 3.5 back, maybe 4 back at the time of recording this. And Yandy Diaz is very much on the table. Here's what Cotillo had to say. He said, Tampa Bay's stance on not trading key players may be softening because of how poor the club has been playing in recent days, according to Ken Rosenthal, meaning Diaz could be moved before Thursday's trade deadline. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, Jack, why are we even talking about trading Yandy Diaz? Why is it worth trading Yandy Diaz? Why would we do something like trading Yandy Diaz? He would be an instant upgrade at first base. Instant upgrade at first base. Romy Gonzalez and Abraham Toro have done a fantastic job being a stopgap after Triston Casas suffered his season-ending knee injury. But we can all be honest and say that neither of them are everyday first basemen. They are literally on a platoon to face a specific side of a pitcher. Romy is the lefty killer. Toro against the righties. Yandy Diaz is an everyday first baseman. He brings much-needed pop to the middle of your order that you just don't have right now. And he's a righty, which the Red Sox are always looking for those right-handed bats. Now, his offense is not spectacular, but Toro and Romy are not, spectacular Gold Glove first baseman either. He would instantly add a new dynamic to this lineup, and he would instantly be a little bit of relief to the lineup. Romy and Toro have been good. They've had their spurts, but Romy's on a cold streak right now. Toro's okay, but he hasn't been killing the baseball as of late. Yandy Diaz comes in. He adds an immediate shot of adrenaline to the lineup. But you let me know, would you trade for Yandy Diaz? T for trade if you would, P for pass if you would not. I want to hear your thoughts. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video, so YouTube is going to throw you an ad break right here. So make sure you go down while the ad is playing, answer today's pinned comment. T for trade, P for pass, would you trade for Yandy Diaz? Now, it's not just thoughts of, oh, hey, Yandy would be a great fit on the Red Sox. The Red Sox should go after him. The Red Sox, according to all reports, are very, and I mean very, interested in Yandy Diaz. Buster Olney yesterday reported it. Here's more from Cotillo. He said ESPN's Buster Olney reported that the Rays could shift to becoming sellers and painted Diaz as an absolute perfect fit for Boston. Earlier this month, as Mass Live reported, who Cotillo writes for, Red Sox decision makers were privately wondering if the Rays could make Diaz available, and if they continued to struggle, and identified him as someone at the top of the wish list should he be on the trade block. The Red Sox want him. Multiple reports from different people, from different publications that have different sources are all saying the same thing. If Yandy Diaz is available, the Red Sox want him bad. I also forgot to mention as well, he's on a team-friendly deal with club control. He will not be a free agent after this year. This is not a rental. I believe he's got another option going into next year, which again is a cheap option. I believe it's like $20 million, if that. I think it might be a little less than that. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's a very team-friendly deal for someone that would bring instant pop to your lineup. If the price is right, I would do it. I don't know what a trade would look like. I tried to put it into MLB trade values, but I just didn't really buy what they were spitting in terms of the surpluses and stuff. I don't know what a trade would look like because it's a highly coveted piece that has team control, that's cheap. I mean, the Red Sox are going to have to trade something. I don't think that this is a Jarren Duran type trade, and at this point, Duran will not be traded at the deadline. I think we can all pretty much agree on that. But this is not one of those hypothetical trades that we were talking about before Meyer went down with his injury. So I don't know what the trade would look like, but if the price is right, the Red Sox should absolutely be aggressive and go out and try to get Yandy Diaz. Because Ryan O'Hearn's great, but he's a rental. And then, he goes off into free agency. Are you going to sign him next year? Who knows? So I would definitely be interested in Yandy Diaz. And if Yandy Diaz signs with the Red Sox, or not, doesn't sign, if Yandy Diaz is traded to the Red Sox, we're going to have a video instantly breaking down everything you need to know. The contract details, his stats, where he fits into the lineup, all of it, the trade details, who's going back to Tampa. We're going to break it all down. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is my second time asking. I really appreciate it. The goal is to get to 4,000 subscribers. That's the goal my bosses told me. They said, Jack, by the trade deadline, you need to be at 4,000 subscribers. And I said, bet. Hit that subscribe button because if a Yandy Diaz trade happens, we're going to have a video. So don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button right now. Another interesting part of this article from Cotillo is this. And another interesting part of if Yandy comes to Boston is this. Is the Triston Casas experiment over? We talked about this a few days ago when we talked about Tyler Soderstrom, who I don't think will be traded, but that was a trade rumor that was out there. If the Red Sox were to trade it for Tyler Soderstrom, the Triston Casas era would have been over. Now, Soderstrom has way more years of team control, but even from what Cotillo is about to say that I'm going to tell you in this quote, I think the Red Sox might be thinking that the Casas era is over as well. So here's what Cotillo had to say. He said, especially intriguing to the Red Sox, according to a baseball source, is that Diaz is under control beyond 2025. Privately, the club is not guaranteeing that Triston Casas, who is rehabbing from a season-ending knee injury, will be the starter in 2026. It's a conversation that needs to be had. I'm still high on Triston Casas. You guys know going into this season, I was very high on Triston Casas. But he cannot stay healthy to save his life. And before he got hurt, he was one of the worst hitters on the entire team. So if you're going to get a guy like Yandy Diaz with club control, I think it might be time to say goodbye to, at one point, one of your top prospects. It's unfortunate. Maybe he is your backup. I mean, who knows? But it's definitely an interesting conversation to be had if you go out and get a first baseman with team control. If you get Ryan O'Hearn, then okay, Casas will be your first baseman next year. But if you get a Yandy Diaz, if you get a Tyler Soderstrom, someone like that, there's going to have to be a conversation that's had, and I don't think it's going to be very favorable for Triston Casas. You let me know, is the Triston Casas era in Boston over? Why for yes and for no? I'm going to say TBD. I don't know, and I know that's a cop-out, but I genuinely don't know. I need to see what happens at the deadline to see where they are going. But the fact that Cotillo has a quote here that says that they are not guaranteeing that Casas is going to be the starter next year is pretty telling, and is something that is going to be very interesting at the end of the day. We're going to get to the injury news in a second. I did just want to make a quick note. So we did a video yesterday about the Dylan Cease trade and how Alex Spear said that multiple sources had refuted that trade offer that the Padres made. Well, Alex Spear has since, or whoever's at the Boston Globe, has since edited out that part of his article that says that refutes Sean McAdams reporting. So I have no idea what's going on between Dylan Cease, the Red Sox, Jarren Duran, and the Padres. I have no idea. But I just thought I would let you guys know because we talked about it in the last two videos, actually, the last 2 days videos, that Spears reporting refuting McAdams' claim has since been edited out, which I thought was very interesting. But let's get into the injury notes. Red Sox win 4-3, much needed win. You win the series. You are now 7 games over 500. You have a half-game lead in the wild card still because the Rangers will not lose. But you are gaining cushion with the other teams behind the Rangers, which is very, very valuable. Walker Buehler didn't look great today. 4 2/3, 3 runs, 1 home run, 5 walks, only 4 Ks. Walked in a run. Gave up the Michael Conforto home run. The 4th inning with Buehler is weird. His ERA in the 4th is like 13 or 18 or something astronomically bad. And then the rest of the innings, he's like fine. You had to use your bullpen today. You did. You had to use Bernardino, Weissert, Wilson, Chapman, and Hicks. And they got the job done at the end of the day. The only person to give up another run... Oh, no, that was it. Buehler gave up the 3. Your bullpen continues to be absolutely incredible. And Jordan Hicks gets the save today. Let's talk about Aroldis Chapman, and then we'll get into the lineup, talk about Roman Anthony. So this was a note from Tim Healy, who said that Aroldis Chapman's 4-seam fastball averaged 94.6 miles an hour before he exited. He threw one 93.3 mile an hour pitch before his pitch clock violation. His average on the season is 98.5 miles per hour. This is very concerning. He's been your closer. He's been the best, most dominant reliever in your bullpen. And for him to go out with an injury was incredibly concerning. We did get good news, though. Like the title of this video says, the Red Sox did dodge a bullet. Lower back tightness. He's considered day-to-day. Cora already ruled out an IL stint. Just needs to rest it, needs to recover, and hopefully he'll be back, in the next few days. Apparently, according to Cora, Chapman was arguing trying to stay in the game, but Cora at that point just said, let's not risk it. Let's just go to Jordan Hicks and just see what happens. And that's, 1, a great vote of confidence for Jordan Hicks, and 2, really great on Cora for, even though his player wants to finish it out, protecting him. Because if the Red Sox make the playoffs, you're going to need Aroldis Chapman in the playoffs. You cannot lose him to a back injury in the back half of the second half of the season when you're going to need him the most. So dodged a bullet day to day, hopefully nothing serious, and we'll hopefully see him back within a week or so. I don't want them to push him because the rest of the bullpen's doing really, really well so far. You do question now, do they go after a reliever at the deadline? I know Ryan Helsley has been pointed out a lot. I don't know if that's really realistic, but there's a lot of arms out there that are interesting, and I might do a video on some reliever candidates over the next few days. Let's talk about the offense. 6 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks. It's the big 2, Roman Anthony and Alex Bregman. Trevor Story had an RBI in this game as well. It was a sac fly, but the rest of the run support came from Roman Anthony and Alex Bregman. Great to see those two leading the way. They should be the two, along with Duran, who yesterday, or 2 days ago, at the time that you're watching this, led the way. Roman Anthony hits the triple, RBI triple, and then Alex Bregman hits the 2-run homer. That gives you the lead and inevitably wins you the ball game. Alex Bregman goes 2 for 3 with a run, 1 for 3 with a run, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a K. He's getting back to Alex Bregman form, which is really great to see. And him hitting that home run was absolutely clutch, and had Fenway Park rocking. Sorry about Roman Anthony, 1 for 3 today, 2 runs, 1 RBI. So after he hit the triple, you could kind of tell that he was gingerly walking, and Cora and the trainer went out to see if he was okay after he hit the triple. And stayed in the rest of the game. But there was a video that came out. Tyler Milliken posted a video of when he went back into the dugout and he sat down and he looked like he was in pain. And it didn't look good. But he stayed in the game. So there was a lot of question of what's going on. Because the rest of the game, you could tell that he was hobbling a little bit, that he was in some pain. So according to Anthony, he talked on WEEI after the game. He said he was okay. He said everything's okay. He said he took a foul ball off his foot in the first inning. He had the padding, and it looked like it hit him in the padding, but he took a foul ball. He took a foul ball off the foot in the first, and he said that's what it was. He said that it felt like his foot was like being weighed down, but he said that he's all good. Everything's okay. He should be okay. The fact that he finished out the game, he had more at bats after that. He tracked down fly balls in the outfield. I'm not worried about it, but it was definitely something to think about because you've already lost Meyer, who's been a key part of the rotation. If you lose Anthony, if you lose Chapman, those are two of your biggest contributors right now when you're going into a crucial part of the season pushing for a playoff spot. Thankfully, neither of their injuries are serious, but this is another reason why the Red Sox need to add at the deadline, because this can happen very quickly. You can lose 3 players very quickly, and then your team looks drastically different than it does. But thankfully, no injuries are serious. The Red Sox get the win. They win the series, and you finish the gauntlet of NL first-place teams at 4-5. I told you guys in a video before the gauntlet started, I said ideally I would consider 5-4 a win. I said, but I would also be okay with 4-5. And at the end of the day, my biggest argument was just stay in a playoff spot. I'd rather have teams chasing us than us have to chase teams, because if we're chasing teams, that means those teams have to lose. And you can't control that unless you're actually playing them. You can control your destiny if you're already in a playoff spot. So the fact that they are still in a playoff spot, need be only half game up, they still control their destiny, and they don't have to rely on outside sources like helping them make the playoffs. So I consider this like week and a half gauntlet a win for 2 reasons. One, you finished like 4-5. You won a series against the defending World Series champions who have a really good team. I get it. Pitching, bullpen injuries, I understand. But still, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and you're still in a playoff spot with 1 series left before the deadline. Craig, please buy. Please. I think he is. But they need to be proactive about it sooner rather than later. Trades were already happening. I would have, Ryan McMahon went to the Yankees. That's a great pickup for the Yankees. And he's already paying dividends. He had a 2-run double yesterday. Your rivals, your opponents in the division are already making moves. So you got to do it, and you got to do it now. We need another pitcher. I know Edward Cabrera has been thrown out as someone that the Red Sox are very interested in. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. You need a first baseman. We talked about Yandy Diaz today. Make it happen, Craig. Make it happen. Predict the Red Sox record against the Twins. 3 games set against the Twins. It is Giolito, Bayo, and Fitz are the starters. I believe in that order. No, Giolito, Fitz, Bayo, I believe is the order. Predict the record. 3 games left until the deadline. They are off on deadline day. So yeah, predict the record down below in the comments. I'm going to say 2 out of 3. I'm going to say 2 out of 3. I'm going to say 2 out of 3. We don't know who the third pitcher is for the Twins, but I liked the other 2 pitching matchups. So you let me know, predict the Red Sox record against the Twins. That's where I'm going to end it, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like I've said already, our goal is 4,000 subscribers. If the Red Sox make a move, we're going to make a video. I know I've said that a lot, but I promise you, as soon as a move happens, we will make a video. So hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out. I'll see you guys later. And until next time, go Sox.